Hi there, welcome to Kneppy Invest, and welcome to a standalone video on a company called Little Green Pharma. Share price on October 17, 2024 rallied 30% on the back of the company's Appendix 4C. So I thought I'll show you this particular Appendix 4C. Also have a look at the company's cash receipts history as well, because that's quite important. This company actually came onto my radar quite a few years ago, and maybe, just maybe, we have seen this company reach that very important inflection point of becoming profitable on an ongoing basis, also a January cash flow in their business, positive cash flow in their business. So let's go straight into Little Green Pharma. Share price up 30.68%, up to 11.5 cents. And let's have a look-see at Appendix 4C. Released, by the way, at 10:01 a.m. I do prefer companies releasing their announcements before 10 a.m. Not Brisbane time, 10 a.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yeah. Anyway, let's have a look at why the market likes this and why I like it as well. Now, whenever I open up an Appendix 4C, first thing I always do is go straight to the actual numbers found on page 21. So you do have to go through a lot. In fact, this company also released, I believe, a presentation. No, that was the other company I'm going to talk about. So Little Green Pharma. What does this company do, by the way? Now, if you're not sure what this company does, you can just go to the website. Here we go. Talking about medicinal cannabis products, medicinal cannabis testing and regulation in Australia, safety information. That's not products. Talking about doctors, pharmacists. So you can see what they do. They sell medicinal cannabis, it seems like. And then if you go to their announcement, they should have an about section. Most companies do have an about section when they do release announcements. So a global, vertically integrated and geographically diverse medicinal cannabis business with operations from cultivation and production through to manufacturing and distribution. That is the actual definition of a vertically integrated company. They have their hands in all along the process, the process of creating something and selling something, whatever. Company has 2 global production sites for the manufacture of its own branded and white label ranges of medicinal cannabis products. I thought they also sold non-medicinal cannabis products, but I could be wrong. Yeah, I could be wrong. Okay, so let's have a look at why I went, ooh, I think the market's going to like this. Okay, so the first thing I always look at is receipts. Receipts to customers, 10.7 million. Now, this company has their financial year the same as the calendar year. So right now they have, is that right? 6 months? No, that's wrong. That's wrong. So 6 months, they have, their financial year looks like it finishes at the end of the March quarter, not the of the calendar year. So they have 6 months of history right now. And nice growth receipts from the last quarter to this quarter. We'll have a look at the cash receipts history in a second. So the first thing I look at is receipts. Actually, it's not technically true. First thing I look at is receipts in the past. So I know what number I would be looking for if I was a shareholder of this company. So anything about $10 million probably would have been a good month or good quarter for this company. So receipts, 10.754 million. Now, I think I should mention here is receipts are not the same as revenue. There are subtle differences between the two. But I do like to focus on receipts for these companies that do release Appendix 4Cs and 5Bs. Now, below receipts, we have payments, research and development, product manufacturing, and operating costs, blah, blah, blah. The main thing is the company operating cash flow positive for this quarter by over $1 million. Now, they were not operating cash flow positive the previous quarter. So for the first 6 months, operating cash flow positive by only $641,000. But operating cash flow positive in this quarter by over $1 million. So this company might be seeing a little bit of scale, be showing a little bit of operating leverage. So the receipts and revenue are growing at a greater rate than their spending. That could be true. And if that is true, possibly if they keep on growing their receipts, you're going to see that cash flow from operations actually increase further over the next few quarters. It remains to be seen. So this is the first step in the right direction for this company. The other thing I like to look at is cash flow from investing activities. Do they spend any money on capital expenditure? So that's payments to acquire property, plant, and equipment, $151,000. So let's say this company is seemingly capital intensive, non-intensive, capital light. So don't spend a lot of money on capital expenditure. Spend a little bit of money on intellectual property. Not sure what that is. That's something that always confuses me. Sometimes it could be capitalizing R&D or R&D, that sort of thing. So maybe that's what they do. They capitalize R&D. So this company is not only operating cash flow positive for the quarter, they're also free cash flow positive by about 800 and almost actually 900,000. Another thing I like to look at is financing activities. This company did a capital raising. No, they actually did repay borrowings. So one of the things the management decided, because this company generated cash flow in their operations, why not pay back some of the debt? That's a good thing to do. So one of the most important jobs management have to do, particularly when they are or do become profitable and generate cash in their operations, what do we do with this cash? Capital allocation decisions. The most important job, in my opinion, management have to deal with for these type of companies that have reached that important inflection point. And one of the things they have decided to do is repay debt. I think that's a good idea. Another thing I like to look at is section 4, how much cash do they have on hand? Cash actually increased from 4.3 million to 4.8 million. Now, if the company expects to maintain these operating cash flow, free cash flow positive quarters moving forward, there's always the possibility they will start giving dividends back to their shareholders. Just a possible thing at this point in time. I think they still have to get to that point. Another thing I like to look at is financing facilities. Section 7. How much debt do they have? They have a little bit of debt, not a lot, $3.7 million of debt, and only $58,000 of unused financing facilities. And the other thing I like to look at is what are the details of these financing facilities. So they have financing facilities or debt with NAB. And what's the interest rate? 7.28%, 7.68%. Apparently they have an unsecured electricity loan with the Danish authorities, interest rate of 4.4%, and an American Express credit card facility. There you go. You don't have to care about Section 8 because they are cash flow positive. Okay, so that's the company's operating cash flow statement for the September quarter. Pretty good. A lot of times, once I finish this, I go straight to the commentary, go through the commentary, trying to understand a little bit more about the company. But typically, the next thing I do is I go to my spreadsheet and I just input their new quarter. And this is Little Green Farmers. In fact, I'm going to get rid of that. I'm sometimes lazy. I only want one of these little graphs per page. And sometimes I get a little bit lazy. We can extend that. So this is Little Green Pharma. Since they listed on the ASX or they changed the name or whatever, and that was back in March of 2020. And the main thing I'm looking for here is receipts growing through time. So if I see receipts growing through time, pretty consistently they are for Little Green Pharma. They are moving in the right direction. This was a pretty good quarter. This was by far the best quarter this company has ever experienced. 10.8 million, up from 8.2 million the last quarter. The only thing I like to see or check is any seasonality. Do we see a quarter where receipts are higher than other quarters consistently? And we don't really see that for Little Green Pharma. But main thing here is receipts are going up in the right direction. Now, another thing, or one of the reasons why receipts might be increasing is because acquisitions. Yeah, maybe this company has grown through acquisitions. I don't know enough about Little Green Pharma to know if that is true, but that is something you have to be careful of as well. Okay, let's have a look at chart. Last of all, is this a breakout for Little Green Pharma? I actually quite like the company's name. Now, I started following this company, I forget when. It was a few years ago. In fact, I probably could tell you. LGP. No. Green Pharma. So Little Green Pharma, Appendix 4C, financial year 23, December quarter. So a few years ago, and I also did one here with Zuno and rep.com.au. So quite a few years ago. And since then, I haven't really been following this company all too closely. Share price has been a downtrend for a long, long time. So I actually moved into a downtrend back in December 2021 at a share price of about 70 cents. And the share price keeps on falling. Maybe today is that day where it turns around. Sentiment and the trend turns around. I probably need a little bit more information, a little bit more of a confirmation that the sentiment has shifted. But this is a step in the right direction for Little Green Pharma. I'm not going to say it's the end of the downtrend just yet, but it's getting close. Okay, so that's all I have for Little Green Pharma. If you have any questions about this company, just leave those in the comment section of this video. Otherwise, I'm not a financial advisor. If you do need financial advice, make sure you seek out someone who's qualified and can speak to your own financial needs. That's it for this video. Have a good day. Bye.